All right, 24 minutes to 7. After more than a decade, Auckland will once again have a police station in the central city. Police say it'll allow them to respond to crime faster and more effectively. It's a move Antony Phillips from the Auckland City Centre Residents Group has been calling for years. He joins us now this morning. Good morning. What sort of impact did the closure have of the downtown police station all those years ago?
Well, I think it was a bit of a blow to the community when we had, it's been 10 years since we had our downtown police station. We had a police station up the road, and then that moved out to Ponsonby. So having that, or not having that physical presence of the police nearby has certainly had an effect on the community.
All right, what sort of effect do you think this will have? How significant a move is it to now have it here?
I think that bricks and mortar sort of public-facing presence of the police is, I'm not necessarily going to say it's going to be a game changer, but it's certainly going to be a step forward in the right direction around having public-facing community interaction with the local police force. The city centre is the most densely populated community in the country, in Aotearoa. The population is comparable of Gisborne, living in 333 odd hectares. It's an apartment community that has a diverse range of complex needs. So having police nearby that they can interact with on a more day-to-day basis rather than in a reactive sort of sense is going to be a game changer.
You mentioned that decade, that void that's been there.
Yeah.
Actually having the visibility, practically what does that do for people in terms of how they feel living in and moving about the city?
I think it's one thing having beat police, but also having that opportunity where community policing can take place. Having that the opportunity when you find the lost iPhone on the street that you can pass it in locally to the police. But I think the main thing here is around building those perceptions of safety. And when visitors, workers, residents have that opportunity to just go knock on the door and say hello, or if they need, as opposed to picking up a phone or dialing something in online, I think that's a changer.
You mentioned that perception. The data seems to show that between January 1st and July 31st this year, compared to the same time last year, there was a reduction, a 22% reduction in serious assaults. Do you feel that increased police presence at the moment is making a noticeable difference?
We do. There's a range of things going on. There's also been considerable public and private investment into a security presence, particularly through retail, that organisations like Heart of the City, our organisation and others are contributing to. And so that's, I think, part of the mix. As much as we're very happy to have more police at the city centre, we wouldn't really necessarily want those being redeployed from other parts of Auckland, where there's also a high need. So making sure the settings are right for the local areas.
And that's the balance, right? We've talked a lot about that, actually bringing them in but not taking away from others. Do you think that the city centre has more complex needs? And if so, how do police cater for those needs?
It's interesting you say that, because it's a nuanced response, right? We've got high diverse sort of levels of diversity, students, we've got people who English is not their first language. So our community is people living in penthouses and then people who are unhoused. And so ensuring that the police are able to respond to those complex needs is really important. Apartment living offers a very different arrangement to going and knocking on a door in a house. And so being able to navigate those challenges is something that the police will really have